At the hour appointed for exhibition, a curtain is withdrawn, or folding doors are thrown open, and the machine rolled to within about 12 feet of the nearest of the spectators, between whom and it, the machine, a rope is stretched. A figure is seen habited as a Turk and seated with its legs crossed at a large box apparently of maple wood, which serves as a table. The exhibitor will, if requested, roll the machine to any portion of the room, suffer it to remain altogether on any designated spot, or even shift its location repeatedly during the progress of a game. The bottom of the box is elevated considerably above the floor by means of the casters or brazen rollers on which it moves, a clear view of the surface immediately beneath the automaton being thus afforded to the spectators. The chair on which the figure sits is affixed permanently to the box. On the top of this latter is a chessboard, also permanently affixed. The right arm of the chess player is extended at full length before him, at right angles with his body, and lying in an apparently careless position by the side of the board. The back of the hand is upward. The board itself is 18 inches square. The left arm of the figure is bent at the elbow, and in the left hand is a pipe. A green drapery conceals the back of the Turk and falls partially over the front of both shoulders. To judge from the external appearance of the box, it is divided into 5 compartments, 3 cupboards of equal dimensions, and 2 drawers, occupying the portion of the chest lying beneath the cupboards. The foregoing observations apply to the appearance of the automaton upon its first introduction into the presence of the spectators. Maelzel now informs the company that he will disclose to their view the mechanism of the machine. Taking from his pocket a bunch of keys, he unlocks, with one of them, a door marked 1 in the cut on page 387, and throws the cupboard fully open to the inspection of all present. Its whole interior is apparently filled with wheels, pinions, levers, and other machinery, crowded very closely together so that the eye can penetrate but a little distance into the mass. Leaving this door open to its full extent, he goes now round to the back of the box, and, raising the drapery of the figure, opens another door situated precisely in the rear of the one first opened. Holding a lighted candle at this door, and shifting the position of the whole machine repeatedly at the same time, a bright light is thrown entirely through the cupboard, which is now clearly seen to be full, completely full, of machinery. The spectators being satisfied of this fact, Maelzel closes the back door, locks it, and takes the key from the lock, lets fall the drapery of the figure, and comes round to the front. The door marked 1, it will be remembered, is still open. The exhibitor now proceeds to open the drawer which lies beneath the cupboards at the bottom of the box, for although there are apparently 2 drawers, there is really only one, the 2 handles and 2 keyholes being intended merely for ornament. Having opened this drawer to its full extent, a small cushion and a set of chessmen, fixed in a framework made to support them perpendicularly, are discovered. Leaving this drawer, as well as cupboard number 1 open, Maelzel now unlocks door number 2 and door number 3, which are discovered to be folding doors opening into one and the same compartment. To the right of this compartment, however, that is to say to the spectator's right, a small division, 6 inches wide and filled with machinery, is partitioned off. The main compartment itself, in speaking of that portion of the box visible upon opening doors 2 and 3, we shall always call it the main compartment, is lined with dark cloth and contains no machinery whatever, beyond 2 pieces of steel, quadrant-shaped, and situated one in each of the rear top corners of the compartment. A small protuberance, about 8 inches square, and also covered with dark cloth, lies on the floor of the compartment near the rear corner on the spectator's left hand, leaving doors number 2 and number 3 open, as well as the drawer and door number 1. The exhibitor now goes round to the back of the main compartment and, unlocking another door there, displays clearly all the interior of the main compartment by introducing a candle behind it and within it. The whole box being thus apparently disclosed to the scrutiny of the company, Maelzel, still leaving the doors and drawer open, rolls the automaton entirely round and exposes the back of the Turk by lifting up the drapery. A door about 10 inches square is thrown open in the loins of the figure, and a small one also in the left thigh. The interior of the figure, as seen through these apertures, appears to be crowded with machinery. In general, every spectator is now thoroughly satisfied of having beheld and completely scrutinized, at one and the same time, every individual portion of the automaton, and the idea of any person being concealed in the interior during so complete an exhibition of that interior, if ever entertained, is immediately dismissed as preposterous in the extreme. Maelzel, having rolled the machine back into its original position, now informs the company that the automaton will play a game of chess with any one disposed to encounter him. This challenge being accepted, a small table is prepared for the antagonist and placed close by the rope, but on the spectator's side of it, and so situated as not to prevent the company from obtaining a full view of the automaton. From a drawer in this table is taken a set of chessmen, and Maelzel arranges them generally, but not always with his own hands, on the chessboard, which consists merely of the usual number of squares painted upon the table. The antagonist having taken his seat, the exhibitor approaches the drawer of the box, and takes therefrom the cushion, which, after removing the pipe from the hand of the automaton, he places under its left arm as a support. Then, taking also from the drawer the automaton's set of chessmen, he arranges them upon the chessboard before the figure. He now proceeds to close the doors and to lock them, leaving the bunch of keys in door number 1. He also closes the drawer and finally winds up the machine by applying a key to an aperture in the left end, the spectator's left, of the box. The game now commences, the automaton taking the first move. The duration of the contest is usually limited to half an hour, but if it be not finished at the expiration of this period, and the antagonist still contends that he can beat the automaton, Maelzel has seldom any objection to continue it. Not to weary the company is the ostensible and no doubt the real object of the limitation. It will, of course, be understood that when a move is made at his own table by the antagonist, the corresponding move is made at the box of the automaton by Maelzel himself, who then acts as the representative of the antagonist. On the other hand, when the Turk moves, the corresponding move is made at the table of the antagonist, also by Maelzel, who then acts as the representative of the automaton. In this manner, it is necessary that the exhibitor should often pass from one table to the other. He also frequently goes in the rear of the figure to remove the chessmen which it has taken and which it deposits, when taken, on the box to the left, to its own left, of the board. When the automaton hesitates in relation to its move, the exhibitor is occasionally seen to place himself very near its right side, and to lay his hand now and then in a careless manner upon the box. He has also a peculiar shuffle with his feet, calculated to induce suspicion of collusion with the machine in minds which are more cunning than sagacious. These peculiarities are no doubt mere mannerisms of Maelzel, or if he is aware of them at all, he puts them in practice with a view of exciting in the spectators a false idea of the pure mechanism of the automaton. The Turk plays with his left hand. All the movements of the arm are at right angles. In this manner, the hand, which is gloved and bent in a natural way, being brought directly above the piece of the to be moved, descends finally upon it, the fingers receiving it in most cases without difficulty. Occasionally, however, when the piece is not precisely in its proper situation, the automaton fails in his attempt at seizing it. When this occurs, no second effort is made, but the arm continues its movement in the direction originally intended, precisely as if the piece were in the fingers. Having thus designated the spot whither the move should have been made, the arm returns to its cushion, and Maelzel performs the evolution which the automaton pointed out. At every movement of the figure, machinery is heard in motion. During the progress of the game, the figure now and then rolls its eyes as if surveying the board, moves its head, and pronounces the word a check, when necessary. If a false move be made by his antagonist, he raps briskly on the box with the fingers of his right hand, shakes his head roughly, and, replacing the piece falsely moved in its former situation, assumes the next move himself. Upon beating the game, he waves his hand with an air of triumph, looks around complacently upon the spectators, and drawing his left arm farther back than usual, suffers his fingers alone to rest upon the cushion. In general, the Turk is victorious. Once or twice he has been beaten. The game being ended, Maelzel will again, if desired, exhibit the mechanism of the box in the same manner as before. The machine is then rolled back, and a curtain hides it from the view of the company. There have been many attempts at solving the mystery of the automaton. The most general opinion in relation to it, an opinion too not infrequently adopted by men who should have known better, was, as we have before said, that no immediate human agency was employed. In other words, that the machine was purely a machine and nothing else. Many, however, maintained that the exhibitor himself regulated the movements of the figure by mechanical means operating through the feet of the box. Others, again, spoke confidently of a magnet. Of the first of these opinions we shall say nothing at present more than we have already said. In relation to the second, it is only necessary to repeat what we have before stated, that the machine is rolled about on casters, and will at the request of a spectator be moved to and fro to any portion of the room, even during the progress of the game. The supposition of the magnet is also untenable, for if a magnet were the agent, any other magnet in the pocket of a spectator would disarrange the entire mechanism. The exhibitor, however, will suffer the most powerful lodestone to remain even upon the box during the whole of the exhibition.